If you want to start a business in Tunisia, then this is the video for you. Okay? I am A.H.P. I'm an author and I also do business. Now, if I look down here, it's because my notes, I've got my notes with me because I can't cram everything on my mind and share it. Okay, so when I'm looking down, it's not anything, it's just I've got my notes here with me. Okay, so Africa as a continent has seen a significant amount of growth and development over the past couple of decades. One of those African countries happens to be Tunisia. Okay, ever since Tunisia moved to a democratic system, the country has seen steady progress and made gradual economic growth. That has resulted in foreign investors taking up an interest in starting business in Tunisia. While the country may be far from getting heavy investments, there are still a few business ideas that can be implemented in Tunisia. And they are fiber optics, transportation, government tenders, call centers, ICT infrastructure, agriculture, and training facilities. Okay, just to mention a few. All right, so this video is not just for people who are in Tunisia, but also for those of you who may be outside Tunisia, but would love to invest in Tunisia. Okay, so now I'm going to go into depth in regards to the business ideas that I have just mentioned. Okay, so I'm going to start with restaurant. Okay, so restaurant business in Tunisia is one of the businesses that has been creating millionaires in the nation for decades. This is because there will always be a need for places to eat out. The restaurant business in Tunisia is one of the most lucrative business ventures to start up. This is mainly because of the insatiable worldwide demand for food, which does not just make it a highly profitable business for building entrepreneurs, but also one of the best recession-proof business. Okay, now it's a recession-proof business because whether people have money or people don't have money, whether the economy is high or the economy is going down, people will always eat. People will always need food. Okay, so that is why it's recession proof. Like, even if you notice, like during the pandemic, people were still going out to eat. I mean, we still went out to eat in restaurants. We still went out to get takeaway from our local takeaway shops. Okay, so there will always be a need for people to eat out, like we said in the beginning, like I said in the beginning. Okay, so that's why it's recession proof. It's a recession proof business. Okay, let's go back into it. Okay, where was I? Right. You can take advantage of this opportunity and start your own restaurant business in Tunisia today. Okay. So, for those of you who would like to start a restaurant in Tunisia, that is the idea for you. Now, number 2 is fiber optics. This is another business idea. We live in a time where everything is digitized, known as the information age. Most things are connected to the internet. Even though Tunisia was closed off from the rest of the world in the past, they are now open to explore globally. Okay, so internet gives us the opportunity to interact with people globally. Okay, and that's what has happened to Tunisia as well. They now have that opportunity because of the internet. That's why the demand for internet has been high. Therefore, getting into the fiber optics business may be one of the surest way of getting revenue. Okay, so if you would like to go into this kind of business where you provide internet for people, this is the business for you. Okay, if you want to start a business in Tunisia, then sorry, I'm repeating myself. Okay. Okay, so that was the end of that note. Yes, it is. Okay. So the third business idea is transportation business. I feel like, give me a minute, guys. I feel like one of my notes. Yeah, like one of my notes is missing. Yes, it's missing. I knew it. Okay, so we're still on fiber optics. I knew it. It was missing. Okay, so because everyone needs internet right now, and providing quality services will ensure you never lose the customers. Okay, this business does not require much investment either. A working server with decent bandwidth is all it will take to establish a fiber optics business in Tunisia. The government of Tunisia is willing to accept foreign investments, so there will not be much of a hustle for those of you who want to do this business in Tunisia. Okay, so like I said, whether you're in Tunisia or you're outside of Tunisia but would love to invest in this type of in this business in Tunisia, you are more than welcome to do that. Okay, now let's move on to business number three, business idea number three, which is transportation business. Okay, transportation business is another good business to do in Tunisia because everyone in Tunisia needs transportation. Imagine the number of people using road transport every day. Some people use it to commute between their home and workplace. Others use it to move their goods from one place to another. You should also consider the number of intercity travels per day. Okay, so whether you are going to be transporting people's goods, like when they're moving houses, or they're looking to move their business items to different places, this would be the business for you. If you are providing transport for intercity, moving basically from city to city, this is also the business for you to look into. And if you are just looking to provide transport for commuters, this is also the business for you to look into. So you could decide that you want to hire a van for moving goods, or you could decide to do a taxi or Uber service for people for intercity, moving from city to city, or a coach from city to city, or taxis if I haven't mentioned taxes, for local commuters. Okay, this is the business to look into. Right, let's continue. When you look out, when you look at all these things, you will understand why transportation business is hot cake. Okay. So you have to bear all of that in mind. Now, business idea number 4, which is government tender. Wait. Yeah, government tender. Okay. So government tenders, which is known as also contracts, okay? One of the most common types of complaints among the citizens of Tunisia is that the government is not doing much for them. That is typical of people, okay? And just a side note, if you're one of those people who think that way, let me tell you now, the government is not for you. Yeah, you need to look at solving your own issues and look to work with people who have solution to the problem that you have. Okay, government are just there to do what government does. Okay, but government uses entrepreneurs. All right, so you'll see how this business works. Okay, now this is where foreign investments can come into play. As a foreign investor, you can compete for government tenders. That's to say they will be doing the government work for them for a sizable return. Doing it well means the business is set for life because the company will have only one customer, and that is the organization that runs the whole country, which is basically government. Okay. As a foreign investor, the organization can have ideas and methods which are new to the country, and they may make proceedings faster. All right. Now, number 6 is ICT infrastructures. Okay, ICT infrastructures. Okay, Tunisia lacks investments and progress in the ICT sectors. They are earnestly looking for investment in this field so that the country's IT sector can grow. There are a lot of local IT companies that have all their basic setup done. So investing in them will not mean one has to start right from scratch. So you can invest in companies that are already there, okay, so that you don't have to start from scratch. But if you want to start from scratch, that is also an option. Okay, so investing in them will not, okay, rather it means the investments will help the company's progress, and it can, and if done right, then the investment can lead to capturing the market share and enjoying a great deal of profits. Okay, so if you do that properly, that means people who need such service, will come to you, and that's how you make great profit from the business. Okay, now second to last is, okay, I missed one before that. Call centers. Let's look at call centers now. So call centers is another business idea that you can do in Tunisia. Okay. So call centers is one of the most common form of outsourcing job in the American and European business world. Okay. Many international companies outsource their customer care sector. You see, that's why when you call certain companies, their customer service, they'll say we're in India or we're in South Africa. For example, the people who supply, the company who supplies our electricity, my electricity, okay, um, or we are in the UK, their customer care service is in South Africa. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, so okay, companies outsource their customer care to other countries for low costs is because the cost of paying those workers is low. Okay, right, compared to the people in their own country. Okay, which makes call centers one of those business ideas that is surely going to work in Tunisia. It is a low investment business, and if it fails to get off, there will be there will not be much loss to bear. Okay, so if you start to set the business up but it doesn't work out, it means you don't lose much. Okay, but on the other hand, if what's it called, if it gains popularity, more and more people will look to outsource their calls to your company, and then the business can expand to greater lengths. Okay, it is one of those low risks but high returns business ideas in Tunisia. So it's a good one because it's low investment, but it's got low risk investment, but it's got high returns um, when it goes well. Okay, and that's one of the things that you should look for in terms of business when you're going to invest in a business. Look at the risks of the business. Okay, so now let us go on to agriculture. Okay, agriculture is a large part of Tunisia's small business ideas. These agricultural businesses are using old and backdated machinery, which makes the task of growing crops and other consumables very difficult with very difficult. Okay, so because of the equipments that they use, their outdated equipment, it makes it difficult for the farmers to grow their crops and also other consumables. Okay, other things that they'll eat, things like fruits, things like I don't know what type of crops they do in Tunisia, but you can imagine the crops and all the other items that they normally eat. Okay, so it makes it hard. Even livestock farming, for example, if they have cattle, if they have goats, if they have pigs and chicken rearing and all of that. Okay, it makes it difficult because of the machinery um, being what's it called, outdated. Okay, so this is where this idea comes in. Okay, um, with proper investment in machinery and equipment, the agriculture sector will see quick developments, and that in turn will bring in a great amount of revenue, and the return on investments will be satisfactory. Okay, so if you are going to invest in agriculture in Tunisia, look at investing in machinery, things like tractor, things like um, things like solar panels. Okay, um, for the irrigation, things like planting pots, things like hoes, things like rakes, things different machineries that is used for farming, watering cans and all of that. Look at greenhouses, um, you know, look at all those types of equipments that is needed. Polytunnels, um, look at all the materials to do with agriculture that makes agriculture easier to be done. Okay, and those are the ones that you should invest in to so that the people there can purchase them. Okay, now last one is training centers, training facilities, sorry. The workforce of Tunisia is great, but they lack they lack the proper skills to engage themselves in high position jobs. Okay, investing in trading facilities in Tunisia will lead to a win-win situation for both your company and the country. The country will benefit from having deft workers, while your company will have a huge number of workers willing to enroll themselves in training programs. So you can hire a space and provide training programs, whether you train people to do barbering, hairdressing, catering, um, beauty, and the likes. You can hire a space with different rooms for different um, training programs, and you can train them and give them certificate and release them into the workspace so that they have opportunity to apply for high level positions that gives them more money. Okay, and they can gain skills that way. You can provide apprenticeships as well, where they can have both the theory and also the hands-on skill, um, for for them to learn a skill as well. So those are the ideas. Those are the business ideas that you can put any of them to use to start a business within Tunisia. But it's not just limited to that. You can also do your own research and look at other opportunities, business opportunities within Tunisia that you can take advantage of. But these are the ones that I thought I'll share with you all today. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions regarding what we've discussed, what I've shared, the video that I've shared. If you have um, any contribution in regards to the business ideas that I've shared, um, do feel free to put it in the comment section. However, I would say to the people who take advice from the comment section that you also do your due diligence so that you are not scammed out of your earnings or investments. Before you do any investments, do your due diligence. Even on the companies, do your due diligence before you do any sort of business transaction with anybody. Okay, that is it. Have a good evening, and I shall see you all in the next video. Bye.